How to create, maintain supplier.
Hi everyone, it's Jason here from EIST SQL. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how to create a new supplier profile. So how you create a new supplier profile is pretty much similar to how you create a customer using the maintain customer. So in order to create a new customer profile, you need to go to the supplier module and then select maintain supplier. Okay, so here we'll show the data that you created from the past. Okay, so in order to create a new one, you can go to the right hand side, select new. Okay, so over here the information is pretty much similar to how you maintain your customer. So basically all you have to do is just key in the company name for your supplier. Okay, then underneath here you can key in what is their addresses, country, postcode, city, and also state. Okay, so as I mentioned, inside the maintain customer, you can just simply key in the postcode and then the system will retrieve the city and state for you. So attention will be how you address this customer. Let's say is Mr. Lim. Okay, just like that. And then for phone number, mobile phone number is also optional, whether you want to put in their data as a phone number or into the mobile phone number data field is also optional. So lastly over here will be their email addresses. Okay, so underneath here will be pretty much the same as the maintain customer side. First of all is area, whether you want to determine which area is this supplier is located, then you can select over here. Let's say it's from KL area. Okay, so the next one will be agent. So for supplier will be mainly for who is the purchaser that is dealing with this particular supplier. So if let's say you want to assign a default agent, then you can select it over here. So this currency is mainly for those who is dealing with foreign supplier. Okay, so for foreign supplier, if let's say you are using US dollar to deal with this particular supplier while making purchase, you can also select it as a US dollar. Okay, so the only thing that is different from the customer is actually the E-Invoice submission and also the classification code over here. Okay, so if let's say for E-Invoice submission, let's say you are dealing with local supplier, then you don't need to submit any E-Invoice. So this E-Invoice submission you can leave it as none. So if let's say you are dealing with a foreign supplier, then you can select it as a self-bill, E-Invoice as a E-Invoice submission method. Okay, so underneath the classification code side, you need to determine which type of transaction that you are dealing with this foreign supplier. So if let's say you are doing a self-bill mainly for importation of goods, then you need to select it as a 034 importation of goods. So the same goes to importation of services. If let's say you are subscribed to like Facebook ads type of services from the Meta. Okay, so over here, if let's say it's for a local supplier, then you just select none. So the next thing we will go to is actually note. Okay, note over here, as you can see, you can monitor when is the date that you create this new supplier profile, and also you can also do the status for your supplier. Okay, whether this supplier is still active doing transaction or inactive or already suspended due to overdue amount. Okay, so over here you can key in their old registration number, and then for this remark and also note is actually for you to put in additional information for this supplier to help you identify easier who is this particular supplier. Okay, so you can also key in their business nature into this note. Okay, so the next one we will go to is text column. So for this text column, you can directly ignore this GST number column. Okay, so we can go to this default text. So if let's say you want to do bookkeeping while doing this purchase transaction with this supplier, you can also select which type of rate that this particular supplier is charging you for the tax rate. So over here, you can also put in their sales tax number or the service tax number regarding their SST lah. Okay, so for example, it's this. Okay, so underneath this ID type and also TIN number is basically where you can search for your supplier TIN number and their BIN number. Okay, so same goes to tourism number and also exemption number. So if let's say when you are making a purchase from this particular supplier and you are basically tax exempted, then you can put in the exemption number over this column. Okay, so the next area we will go to is actually bank account. Okay, so this bank account is mainly for you to make transaction even more easier when you are making payment to this particular supplier. So over here you can add another column, specify which type of bank account that this particular supplier is using. So for example, you can search by their bank name. For example, is Maybank. Okay, so after you select this bank account, you can basically press the OK button, and then over here you need to specify what is your supplier bank account number lah. Okay, so after that, you need to specify the account name is based on the company name. So it's based on what you key in inside the company name, it will reflect under the account name side lah. Okay, so this is how you can create a bank account inside the maintain supplier side lah. Okay, so on the upper hand side, okay, as you can see, there is a reg.number new. Here will be the place where you search for your supplier PIN number. Okay, so once you selected the correct company name, then the system will actually replace the full name into the system, as you know, and then it will search for the BIN number and also the TIN number for you. Okay, so the additional features you can find over here is actually their industrial code. So if let's say you know what is your local supplier industrial code, you can always select from this area. Okay, let's say it's growing of papaya, and then you just select the code respectively, and then you can press the save button. Okay, so that's all for this video on how to create a brand new supplier profile. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like and also subscribe to our channel to support us to make more content about tutorial about SQL accounting software. So thank you for supporting, and I will see you in the next one.